J-Drone here. This is SYMA X5UW in the Aosenma. I'm going to show you basically a flight with the SYMA. Why is the Aosenma here? Well, because my brother's over and he likes to fly too, but also to show you that you are able to fly two drones at once. It does not interfere with one another, at least these two drones. Some drones do, some drones don't, and there goes the SYMA. And you will see the Aosenma get in the picture here in a little bit. But we're going to do a general flight review on the SYMA. As you can see, I had it up there and I'm bringing it back here for a close look. That way you can see how it looks when it flies. And it is a very good looking drone. The roundedness that they added to this that differs from the original first generation X5s is awesome. I'm super happy with the styling of this. The metallic, it's not even really a metallic, it's just like a high gloss candy apple red that is on this. Amazing, love it. As far as flyability here, I'm giving it like right away, I'm giving it like a 8.5. I really wish that it had a third speed rate. It only has 2 speed rates, so the stopping is not as crisp and as up to par as where I'd like it. I'd really like to be able to bring it back and then jolt forward and be able to stop it really quickly. Off to the right you can see the Aosenma, the bright white lights right there. So we have two flying in very close vicinity in a mild residential neighborhood, and there's zero issues here. Again, be cautious when you do this because slim chances you can interfere with one another's signal, but both of us are flying pretty low here, so there's really no issue. But as you can see, I'm taking it up high here. I'm keeping my connection, so the connection from the SYMA to the controller is really strong despite having an Aosenma, which you just seen fly that way, flying in the same general area. So that's definitely good to know. If you have a brother, if you have a best friend, if you have a wife, a girlfriend, somebody that wants to fly with you, and you have these two drones, you're safe to fly them. I just showed that. Again, this is a very smooth flyer, extremely smooth flyer, a little too smooth. Again, I attribute that to it only having those 2 speed rates. And I mean, we're good on the 2 speed rates. Bam, little durability test in there. Smack the tree. Lights are blinking. All you have to do is turn this upside down. The drone knows that it did just take a crash. The lights will go steady and you'll be able to throttle up again and take off, or do your automatic takeoff. As you can see, the lights went steady. And we are back up. So durability, we're durable. We just smacked into a tree and bam, hanging on to a tree, and bam, out of the tree. So zero issues durability right there. Durability test passed. So we do light funnels. The yaw rate on this isn't crazy, but it's good enough. Night flyer, definitely a night flyer. They have little covers underneath the gears that run off of the motor to the propeller. There's a little range test for you, but they have covers over the gear motors and the propeller motors, which I think is really good, and that's really good range there. Because if you land on top of sand, if you land on dirt, if you land in a dusty area, you're not getting all that up in your gears. What happens is a lot of manufacturers leave open gears for cooling, which they really don't need to be cooling all that much because they're constantly moving and they're constantly in the air. It's getting a lot of air and wind. But a lot of manufacturers leave them open, and a lot of motor failures happen due to that because of the reason of dirt, debris, and dust getting in there and causing friction against the gears and added resistance, which will eventually have a blown motor failure. So definitely big ups on SYMA with the design on this. They did complete overhaul on the facial of this, and they also did a little bit of thinking when it came to the gears. And the lighting underneath is all a part of that gear cover. The lights are actually right by the gears, and because those covers are clearish plastic, they illuminate like that, where you can see it's very bright, and you're able to keep your eye on it. The blinking light underneath it is the camera. I don't have an SD card in it. We're not recording. It's like desk time now, so you probably wouldn't get much. As you can see, I'm able to fly in just about any direction here. I'm doing funnels to the left and the right, flying out, flying in. 8.5 flyer. I would give this a 9.5. I'd give this a 9.5 if we were in some wind and it had that third speed rate. But we're giving it 8.5. 8.5 is good. There's nothing wrong with 8.5. Glowability, bam, look at that. Arms are glowing out the wazoo. Your red is your front and your green is your back. And again, I'm kind of flying in all directions here just to show you guys that it can be done. You don't have to fly this out, back, left, and right. You can spin it around and fly it every which way. Again, SYMA did well with this. A lot of manufacturers will do a second generation and have a flop. I will say there's nothing wrong with the X5C. I have the X5C and it's an excellent flyer. Are the LEDs as bright? No. Is the styling cues as cool? No. The camera on the X5C is dope. I did test the camera on this and it's not super awesome, but it's definitely not as good as the X5C's. So, and we have blinky lights, low voltage. We're going to bring this down. Guys, I'm J Drone. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you're, and as you can see, it's coming down by itself. If you're on Drone Days, the link will be at the bottom. Alright, guys. Take care.